Hello, everyone. Me doing another vlog. Well, I haven't done a vlog in a bit, so I figured, why not? Let me give this a shot. And I watched, this has a lot to do with what I'm currently uploading, aka Warhammer Total War, and the fact that the majority of my knowledge about the Warhammer lore actually stems from the artist in question, not the artist in question, but the video uploader in question, as well as the person in question, because I have played Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War 1 and 2. I did not like 2. That's why you will never see an upload of that from me, because I just didn't like it. Now, if you like it, hey, that's your opinion. I'm not saying I belittle people that do like it. It just wasn't for me. So, I'm going to kind of take the kind of sort of route that Arch Warhammer takes when it comes to the interviews that he has, but I have a response to the person who has a response to him. So think of this as a response to a response of a response, if you will. So let's have a listen, shall we? The introduction has to play. Luetin.
Hey guys, Luetin here. And so this morning, I opened my inbox and was looking through some of the emails and so on. And one of the comments that I'd seen was somebody else saying, who came here from Arch Warhammer? Now, Arch Warhammer, if you don't know, is a YouTube producer who makes videos about the lore, not unlike myself, not unlike some other people. And, you know, I've watched some of his lore stuff in the past, and yeah, it's pretty good, you know.
Pretty good.
So he also had contacted me in the past saying, would you like to do a video discussing Dawn of War 3? I didn't have time in that week or whatever, so I said, sorry, I don't have time right now. But apparently...
From what I understand, that's complete and utter bullshit. There's a different explanation to that. If you check out Arch Warhammer's video, he actually goes into detail about that. I don't really remember the specifics about it, so I won't put words into mouth on either side. So by all means, check out Arch Warhammer's video down below, if you will. Matter of fact, check out his, well, I would say check out his video before check out mine, but here I am, you know, 2 minutes into mine. But anyways, let's continue on, shall we?
He'd made a video off of the back of my interviews, so I was pretty interested to see what he had to say. When I got over there, though, I was quite unimpressed, I guess. Unimpressed to see that the video he had made was less a objective look at the information provided for my interview, and more quite a, I wouldn't say personal attack on me, but definitely it came across as mocking, deriding, and a little bit humiliating.
Humiliating because you don't know what you're talking about, right? Is that right? I'm assuming it is, because this dude has done his research. He seems to be very, very knowledgeable on 40k lore. And here's the thing, he's coming at it from an objective point of view when it comes to 40k lore. 40k is a dark universe. There's not really a bright shining light. Like, the bright colors that I saw was very StarCrafty, as he said. So it does beg the question. There are a lot of features that were like the retreat function that he mentioned. I was like, yeah, you know, that like, I didn't play Dawn of War 2 that much because it just did not interest me. That's why I don't like it, because when I played it, I was like, I don't like what I have. I played a little bit of the campaign. I was like, yeah, I don't like what I'm getting, so whatever. So the retreat points, I didn't really know much about until I watched Arch Warhammer's video, and I was like, retreat points make a lot of sense when I think about how Dawn of War 1 works. I'm like, yeah, retreat points would have been fucking good. So I don't understand why they're being taken out or even ignored, especially with the, I'll get into the rest of it later. Let's hear what this guy has to say before I continue on my thing. And I will leave a link down below to his video so that you guys can watch his video, make your own objective views. I'm not trying to say that this guy's a bad dude. I'm not trying to say he's trying to, you know, shit on Arch Warhammer's dissenting view. I'm just trying to give my 10 cents out because I do like Arch Warhammer's videos. I do like the content he produces, but at the same time, I do want a good Dawn of War 3 because I loved Dawn of War 1. Loved it. Dawn of War 2 just wasn't my cup of tea. If people liked it, they liked it. If they didn't like it, they didn't like it. They're with me. They're like, yeah, you know, what's my cup of tea? Shit happens. So anyways, let's listen to what he has to say.
There was a lot of kind of personal stuff in there in terms of just like suggestions that maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, or suggestions that I was, easy towards the developer. And then he's kind of set it up as inviting people to kind of really take a negative perspective of me. I don't really appreciate.
To be fair, you were kind of soft on the interview. Namely, the interviewee was giving more of the information than you were, posing questions. You weren't I wouldn't say critical enough. You didn't ask enough questions, if you will. You asked a question and kind of let him took over the interview from there. Therefore, you allowed him to kind of run the interview. That way, he didn't, end up in a position where I don't know the fucking answer. So it seemed like kind of a fixed interview, if you will, where you asked a question and you kind of let him run with it. Where it's like, oh, okay, so now I'm in, control of the interview. So that's where, I don't know if Arch Warhammer came to this conclusion or not, but I kind of felt that way when I was watching his videos of you. It's like, you kind of let the guy you were interviewing run with the script, if you will. But I'll let you explain from here.
That. And I wouldn't normally make these kind of response videos. In fact, I don't think I've ever made these kind of response videos. I've had people make videos about me in the past, but the kind of videos that people have made about me in the past, there's been, if you can search for them, I expect, but the kind of videos that people have made about me personally in the past have usually been very attacking, very negative, and usually by just some kind of random person on the internet, and therefore that's very easy to dismiss. But when it's made by another producer, and for one, they've personally spoken to you previously, you're kind of like, it's actually pretty common courtesy to just say to someone, hey man, I'm going to put out this video about you, just to let you know. In fact, actually that happens in the media in general. When they're going to sort of make an article about someone in a publication or whatever, they will usually contact that person and tell them, hey, we're going to publish this, The other thing is that he used all of my interview material in the video. Now, under fair use rights for YouTube, legally you can do that, because if you're making like an editorial response about something, you can take that content and break it down and use that again. So that's fine from a legal perspective. But just from a personal, like, common courtesy, I worked all day to break that down. I had to, it took me a long time. I had to transcode the video. I had to sync it all up. I had to cut it all together. It took me a really long time to produce those videos. And when somebody kind of rips it and then just doesn't even say, hey man, I'm just going to be borrowing your footage, especially when you have already contacted that person in the past, it's a...
Okay. When it comes to fair use, if they're offering their own commentary, if they're offering their own perspective to your video, they're kind of in, they're within fair use, even though YouTube fucking says, yeah, fuck use, or fuck fair use, that shit doesn't make any sense, whatever makes us more money. Argument he's making here, no. No. See, here's the thing. Arch Warhammer wasn't making a reaction video. He was doing a play-by-play commentary on the video that you made. Yes, you may have put your hard-earned work into it, but he chimed in when he needed to chime in. He added his own 10 cents. It was almost a commentary completely on your video in of itself. It was within fair use. From what I saw, it was within fair use. Both of your interviews, within fair use. Completely. 100%. Reaction channels. All right, let me go ahead and get into how I feel about reaction channels. There are some reaction channels that, yes, they just upload videos that are very popular at the point in time that they're making the reaction. And yes, they are capitalizing on that said video. It's like, oh, it's popular, let me react to it, because a lot of people are checking it out. There are people like that. Don't get me wrong. I watched Grade A Underage's video, or his videos, I should say, on reaction channels, and yes, to a degree, they make a lot of sense. They make perfect sense, really. But there are some channels that I won't name names. I won't name names for positive or negative. There are some channels that actually bring something to the table when it comes to that type of thing. And if people want to react to, let's say, my videos, fuck it. I don't care. I don't make money off my videos anyways. I never plan on making money off my videos, at least for the current moment in time. The videos I have uploaded now, yeah, I'm not going to make money off of them. It's fine. It's whatever. I have my own job outside of YouTube. I do YouTube as a fucking hobby. It's something I do to entertain myself and entertain others. That is the main point of my YouTube channel. So, when it comes to the whole copyright thing, it's like, if they bring enough to the table to where it's like, yeah, you know what, they're utilizing fair use. In his case, Arch Warhammer's case, he's commentating on your video. He's offering his own 10 cents to your video. He is within fair use. So I don't know why we're bringing this fucking argument up. It seems like a cheap way of just dismissing what he said about you to say, oh, well, you know, there's this copyright thing where it's like, you know, it's kind of controversial still because, you know, some people aren't entirely on the page with it. So therefore I'm going to bring that up just so I could kind of toss any argument he has against me out the window. Like, dude, you had me going for a minute. You had me saying, you know what, at least you listen to the fucking guy speak. But now you're like, well, you know, there's this copyright thing and blah, blah, blah. And, well, you know, he kind of ripped a video that I spent my hard-earned money on. Now, when, let's say, for example, ERB has an issue with somebody wrecks their channel and they don't offer any kind of substance to it. If they say, hey, no, take this shit down or, you know, we're going to monetize this whether you like it or not, that is okay. That is within fair use because, you know what, ERB, they bust their asses to make the videos that they make. And I applaud them for it. Even the videos I don't particularly like, aka Bruce Jenner versus Bruce Banner. They did put some hard fucking work into that video, despite the fact that I didn't like it. I didn't like the message it was sending. Granted, I do not have any issue with transgender people. If you want to live your life the way you want to live your life, hey, that's you. As long as you pay for your, you know, you have a self, you know, you have a personal issue within yourself. You're like, I need to get this amended so that I am comfortable with myself. That should be on you, not anybody else. Not anybody else at all. If your family supports it and they want to help pay for it, that's cool. In fact, I you know, when it comes to I'm getting into topics I should be getting into, but when it comes to transgenderism, I'm for that. 100% for that. But anyways, I'm getting off fucking track and getting into some societal issues. So let me let this guy talk so I can kind of get away from my soapbox and get away from my, you know, political and societal rants.
A little jarring. It doesn't really feel that good. It's a bit of a kick in the balls, you know. It's just like, hey, fuck you, man. I'm going to just take your stuff. And you're like, you know, between YouTube producers, that's...
Well, if you had any balls to begin with, but that's besides the point. Here's the thing. He's not taking your video and saying, you know what, fuck you. I'm uploading your own content, saying fuck you and, you know, disregard your interview. No, he's adding his 10 cents into your video. You're using the fair use argument to kind of say, you know what, fuck his argument, fuck everything he's saying against me. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this video right now, because I watched Arch Warhammer's videos. I watched both of them, the interview about the game itself, as well as the mechanics of the game. He wasn't taking your content and uploading it to say, you know what, fuck you, I'm stealing your interview. He's uploading it to saying, no, I'm going to insert myself into this interview and add my 10 cents and say, here's what I think about what's going on with this game. And Arch Warhammer has, a lot of Warhammer material to his name, be it 40K or the fantasy universe. So him doing this makes a lot of sense. And he's done this before, and he hasn't had any complaints against him from what I've seen. He's had complaints before. If you're subscribed to him and you've seen, like, yeah, you know, people have had this kind of problem with him before, then by all means, you know, leave a comment down below saying, yeah, he's had this issue before. But right now, I'm not really seeing where he's violated fair use. I'm just not seeing it at all. So, anyways.
It's not a very nice atmosphere to create. And then also, on top of that, as I say, I actually expected a lot more from him. He's really gone down in my estimation, whereas before I definitely probably would have considered to work with him, and I think we could have had a nice relationship, actually, because his views are very different to mine. Like, he doesn't agree with about my perspective of Dawn of War. He doesn't agree that, you know, this, I mean, he pretty much seems like he doesn't think this game is going to be any good in any shape or form, so probably should stop talking about it at this point, really, because if you dislike a game so much, why even... I mean, for example...
It's not even that he dislikes the game itself. He just dislikes the direction that it's going in. It seems like you're streamlining the game. I'll throw out the whole fucking StarCraft argument because he brought that up quite enough to the point where I'm like, just say they're streamlining. Just say that they are streamlining the fucking game to appeal to the most people possible. They don't give a fuck about the 40K audience. They don't give a fuck about the 40K gamers. They are just appealing to the casual gamers, who are generally the biggest audience to appeal to, because there are a lot of casual gamers out there, including myself. I'm not super big into 40K universe. I'm super big into Warhammer Fantasy universe. Granted, when I had, played Warhammer Dawn of War 1, I was fucking big into the 40K universe. I was like, I want to learn as much as I fucking can. I want to learn more and more and more and more and more. And then Total War Warhammer comes out. I'm like, I'm more interested in the fantasy universe, because I've always had a soft spot for fantasy. Always had a soft spot for it. I learned more about it, and that allowed me to actually do a Let's Play about it. Actually allowed me to do multiple Let's Plays about it. In fact, it allowed me to do Let's Plays upon Let's Plays about it. You haven't seen them uploaded yet, because it's allowed me to, do a playthrough, explore the universe, get to know the faction I'm playing as, and at the same time, it's like, you know what, I need to redo this, because now that I know what I know about this faction, I need to do it again so that I can give this faction justice. And I'm not saying like, oh, I did, X amount of footage of, gameplay videos and blah, blah, blah. Because when it comes to a Let's Play, minimal effort is actually put through. From my experience, very minimal effort goes into my own videos. That's why I'm not too, upset about, copyright infringement. But at the same time, it's like, when it comes to copyright infringement, when it comes to video games, it's like, you know what? Each developer has their own policy. Each publisher has their own policy. When it comes to, royalty music, let's say, for example, I did my own playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade. What the fuck? Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. I'll just say it with that. You know what game I'm talking about, because if you're subscribed to me, you know what game I'm talking about. There is a lot of royalty music on there. So whenever, like say Lacuna Coil targets my video and says, hey, you're using my video, I'm like, yeah, I am. It's cool. So, excuse me. Let me try taking the audio out, and let's see what happens. If the audio comes out and it's still, just me blabbering on about whatever the fuck, but the music is gone, then I'm okay with it. But if it takes everything out of it, then I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll bite the bullet, just put all the audio back. I don't care. You know what? But I find it kind of ironic, because Lacuna Coil is one of my favorite bands out there right now, but they're like, no, you were misusing our content. Granted, I'm not saying that they're, an exception to the rule. When it comes to royalty music, I get why I'm getting, the flack, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not using it to sell your music to other people. I'm using it to play a fucking video game. But at the same time, it is what it is. Anyways, let's listen to this schmuck fucking talk.
I myself, I haven't really made any.
That being said, I'm not trying to dismiss his opinion. I'm offering my own commentary against his opinion. There's a reason why I don't have his video tagged here, because he can't give me that fair use argument. But anyways, let's listen to what he has to say, right?
Any Battlefield videos, you probably noticed. The reason I haven't made any Battlefield videos is because I don't really have anything extremely great to say about it at this point in time, so therefore I'm not talking about it. I could be making a lot of Battlefield videos right now, and actually that would be beneficial for my channel. It would be bringing me subs and views, but I haven't done it. Because if I make that, it's just going to be content after content of me criticizing and breaking stuff down like that. And I just think, personally, I've been trying to get away from that. I've been trying to sort of not make endless videos.
I need to rewind here a minute, because I think I missed something. So, give me a second. Okay, so I watched what he had to say. Let me see if I can rewind it to that, or fast forward it to that point.
Especially when you have already contacted that person in the past, it's just that's not a very nice atmosphere to create. And then also on top of that, as I say, I actually expected a lot more from him. He's very different to mine. Like, he doesn't agree with about my perspective of Dawn of War. He doesn't agree that, this. I mean, he pretty much seems like he doesn't think this game is going to be any good in any shape or form. So
that is wrong. He doesn't think that the game is going to be bad in its entirety. He doesn't have a lot of confidence in the game. And I share that perspective. I don't have a lot of confidence in this game right now based on the 2 interviews that I've seen. The 2 interviews. 2. I'm not dexterous. But anyways, the 2 interviews that I've seen that he's reacted to, that I've watched of you and the developers discussing your thing. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence going into it either, but at the same time, I'm not saying I'm totally throwing this game out the window. Arch has given absolutely no indication that he's throwing this game out the window. Now, if he has, I haven't seen it. I'm only going off of what I know. And from what I've seen and what I know, Arch Warhammer isn't throwing this game out the window. He doesn't have a lot of confidence going into it, which I don't either. That's the thing about it. Is we being me and some other people, don't have a lot of confidence in this game right now because we're kind of skeptical about it. Now, there are some people that are far more skeptical, far more critical about it than I ever will be because I'm not as invested into the universe as they are. And, more power to them. They respect and like that universe more. That's the thing about it. When it comes to StarCraft, when you think about StarCraft 1 and Brood War versus StarCraft 2, there is a big difference. And StarCraft 2, to a lot of the original StarCraft players, was kind of a letdown. For me, it was perfectly fine. So, I'm kind of a skeptic right now, but at the same time, I could be, one of your biggest fucking fans. I could be praising the video. I could be singing praises about the game itself once it finally comes out. But anyways, let's listen to the remainder of this guy because I realize I've gone on for, close to about 20 some odd minutes.
So probably should stop talking about it at this point, really, because if you dislike a game so much, why even? I mean, for example, I haven't really made any Battlefield videos. You probably noticed. The reason I haven't made any Battlefield videos is because I don't really have anything extremely great to say about it at this point in time, so therefore I'm not talking about it. I could be making a lot of Battlefield videos right now, and actually that would be beneficial for my channel. It would be bringing me subs and views.
I cannot argue for or against what he's saying about his channel and the type of videos that he makes. So I'm going to be kind of playing the neutral card on this one because I can neither confirm nor deny what he's saying about his own channel because I don't know about his own channel other than it's Luetin 09, and that's assuming this is even his own channel or if it's somebody saying, hey, I'm going to take this video and upload it to my channel.
But I haven't done it. Because if I make that, it's just going to be content after content of me criticizing and breaking stuff down like that. And I just think, personally, I've been trying to get away from that. I've been trying to sort of not make endless videos where I'm just criticizing stuff, It's his channel. He can do whatever he wants to, But as I say, the style of the video has really dropped my estimation of him, which is unfortunate because I actually did think we could have done something together. And by the way, I'm not being all like, oh, he could have...
This sounds a lot like pandering. I don't know the exact word I'm looking for, but it's like this person contacted me before, but now that they have such a negative perception about me, I'm going to say a lot of negative things about them, like, oh, we could have done this, we could have done that, but now he's decided to say this, that, and the other. I don't know the exact word I'm looking for, but that sounds a lot like what this dude's trying to portray. And I've had this type of shit happen to me before. Not on YouTube, mind you, but just in personal, real life.
Worked with me, but now he can't. No, I just mean from like a personal producer point of view. You're always looking for people to collab with. Like, I think I'm going to do some stuff with Drewski soon for Armor, which will be cool. But,
Speaking of collabs, Necroscope, can we do something together, please? Dude, I fucking love you. I want to do a collaboration before you just say... You know what, YouTube, I've got my own life to live. I'm going to go do my own thing, which, he more or less is right now, and, that's cool. Necroscope, dude, respect. I fucking love the shit out of you. And I hope, it's lightning outside. And I love the shit out of you, and I love the shit out of, okay, let me stop, doing the proverbial brown nosing, but just saying, like, dude, can we do a collaboration before you can officially call it quits to YouTube? I want to do a collaboration with you. I don't know if my subscribers want that, but I fucking want that. Anyways, off my soapbox. Let's get back into this dude's video because he's got 3 minutes left.
I just don't think it's the right way to go about it. I wouldn't have personally done it that way. And also, as I say, you guys can go and watch his video. And the arguments he has, and also it seems like it's checking boxes. It seems like it's checking boxes in terms of it's like StarCraft, it's like a MOBA, the visuals of the units should have been more gritty, they should have been more like this.
Okay, well, yeah, it is coming across like a StarCraft wannabe. I'm sorry to say, but it is. And I'm not trying to downplay StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is a fucking phenomenal game. Granted, I don't particularly like it as an RTS. I like it. I like the campaigns. I don't particularly like the multiplayer. But that's my opinion. If people like it, they like it. This is just me saying my opinion. I don't like the multiplayer. I don't even like the fucking co-op shit that they they inputted into it. And I don't like the way that Warhammer Dawn of War 40K, whatever you want to call it, looks. I don't like how Dawn of War 3 looks. That's just me, though. That's my opinion. That's my perception right now. I don't know if the game's good or bad, or if it'll be good or bad. Arch Warhammer doesn't know if it'll be good or bad. Our perception is just saying that we're not liking what we see so far. That is to say, our opinions are right now in the negative, but as to say that we won't try the fucking game out, see for ourselves if we fucking like the goddamn thing. If you could get that through your thick fucking head. But I'm not trying to be mad at this dude. I'm just mad at the fact that he's jumped to conclusions that Arch Warhammer isn't even gonna fucking try this shit. It kind of pisses me off because I respect Arch Warhammer's opinion. Fuck you, Lightning. That, you know what? We're gonna try this shit out regardless of how we fucking feel about the thing. We're gonna listen to opinions. We're gonna watch the gameplay videos. We're gonna see for ourselves if we like the game or not. So this dude needs to take a fucking chill pill and just relax. I think he's more peeved that his interviews were, quote, ripped off by Arch Warhammer, and I may be being a little bit more negative towards this guy than I should be, but I've just... When he brought up the copyright thing, it kind of struck a nerve with me, because I'm like, oh, fucking hell, the goddamn copyright bullshit. God damn it, son of a bitch. You know, let me, like, you know, beat something up. An inanimate object. I don't believe in beating up, you know, animals or people just to vent your rage. I think that's fucking fucked up. Anyways, I digress from that. Let's listen to the remainder of this guy's thing. Like, literally the remainder. Unless I just suddenly like, nope, I have a thought. I have to say something.
Talk about pandering. That's seriously pandering to basically all the comments that we've seen from people already. There's
like you were to the interviewee.
A lot of people flipping out about this on YouTube comments about Dawn of War stuff. But what you've got to try and understand is YouTube comments don't represent an entire community. Okay, YouTube...
Except they do, sometimes.
Comments are like a selected group of people that are looking at something. And as a developer, as a producer, you shouldn't always just go to YouTube comments. You have to take a holistic view. And also, it's about making the game that you want to make. Now, yes, the units don't have as much detail, but I think anybody could have, in terms of like dirt and wear, but I mean, I think anybody could have understood at this point in time that there are always optimization issues there. There's always issues in terms of making stuff work well. And if they're looking at battles which are bigger and more things happening...
Shit, Creative Assembly needs to hire you if you're talking about optimization. Holy shit, son.
You're not going to have that same level of detail that you would have had with Dawn of War 2. He also mentions in his videos, and he has this kind of mocking tone all the way through, which is just really... pissy and annoying.
This mocking and annoying tone is just really pissy. Oh, bitch, please. You're just fucking pissed off that he had what he had to say. You're just pissed off about the context of what he had to say about you. You fucking twat.
But he talks about like, oh, it's definitely like more like a MOBA and things because it's very corridor based. It's very corridor based. I played quite a bit of Dawn of War 2 recently, and many maps in Dawn of War 2 are very corridor based. You know, there's lots of 3-lane setups with a central area and all these kind of things. They're very lane based, and you start on opposite sides. So that argument falls completely flat to me. And then there's some other stuff about the movement and this and that. And then he talks about me talking about how I was saying that Warhammer 40k is crazy and over the top, and how that used to be true in 40k, he says, but now it's more gritty and real. Come on, man. Like Warhammer 40k is still fucking ridiculous. Look at any of the units that you use there. I mean, just the whole game is ridiculous. I mean...
Okay, I can make that argument about StarCraft. I can make that argument about Warcraft. I can make that argument about fucking, Destiny. I can make that argument about Call of Duty. I can make that argument about Call of Duty Zombies. I can make that argument about Devil May Cry, about Tomb Raider, about Resident Evil, about every fucking game in the fucking world because, oh my god, it's a fucking video game, mate. Dude, here's the thing about 40k. 40k is a very gritty universe. Lightning, I'll get to you in a minute. Calm the fuck down. Let Thunder finish his fucking thing. Or actually, yeah, Lightning comes from Thunder. Anyways, here's the thing, like 40K is a very nitty-gritty universe. It's very, very dark, and there's a lot of shit that's really screwy going on. And it's like, you don't see a bright future in it. And I get where Arch Warhammer is coming from when he says that, like, you know, the bright colors just don't fit the universe. I fully fucking agree. They don't. At all. You put bright... Alright, let me bring Game of Thrones into this shit. Do bright colors fit into Game of Thrones? No, the fuck they don't. Let's go into Lord of the Rings. Let's say Mordor, for example. Does Mordor have room for bright fucking colors? No, they don't. Granted, Mordor is, you know, a fantasy universe, more akin to Warhammer Fantasy as opposed to Warhammer 40K. But let's go into some dark sci-fi entities. Let me think, for example, Star Wars, even. There are some dark aspects to the literature within Star Wars where colors are not bright. They aren't bright. So, when it comes to 40K, though, the universe is intentionally not meant to be that bright. It's not meant to be optimistic. Oh, there's, you know, these space race are fucking heroes. These Eldar are fucking heroes, and these greenskins and these fucking Tyranids are villainous and stuff. No. No. If you watch Arch Warhammer's videos, I'm just quoting, or well, not even Arch Warhammer's, just watch some 40K lore videos, you will understand that the universe is not a very fucking good place to be. It's not full of bright colors and spectacular heroes that just get the job done and they get the girl and they, you know, save the day and there's no repercussions whatsoever. Everybody's fucking happy. That is not the case. Not the case at all. It is not like StarCraft 2. In fact, 40K is more akin to the original StarCraft, to include Brood War, where it's a brutal fucking universe. When you compare StarCraft 1 and StarCraft Brood War, you take those two, combine them together, and compare it to StarCraft 2 and its respective two expansions, as well as the Ghost universe, you'll see a fucking difference. That's the difference that I'm starting to see when it comes to 40Ks 1 and 2 versus 3. Granted, 3 might be the game that just blows the fucking lid off the fucking can. It could be the best game I've ever fucking played, for all I fucking know when it comes to RTSs. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suspending my disbelief that this game might actually be good. It's just perception. That's the big thing, perception. It is the perception about the game right now that is very negative. We're not seeing a good game right now, but we are open to it being the best fucking game ever. Arch Warhammer seems to have a skepticism that says, I don't think it will be, but I'm open-minded to it being such. That's why I think the disconnect is between this guy and Arch Warhammer is. Now, I'm not trying to put my foot in my mouth and trying to insert words into Arch Warhammer's, you know, own, what he said so far. I'm not trying to insert words in his mouth. I encourage you to check out his his videos, which I'm going to link his channel down below. Check out his videos and then, you know, kind of leave your final thoughts on me if you have the time to do that. But here's the thing, like, Arch Warhammer, if you're watching, I'm trying to stick up for you right here. I'm trying to. I don't know if I've come off the best way in that, but at the same time, like, this dude's coming off as kind of a condescending douche waffle. I don't think that's his intent. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying that, no, I don't think that's his intent. He just may have misinterpreted what you were trying to say about his interviews. But anyways, let me, you know, for the fifth fucking time now, let me get his 10 cents out of the way so that I can actually offer my 10 cents so that I can actually end this video that's now gone to 34 minutes.
Gritty and real? Like, come on, how can you say that seriously? You know, I love to think of Dawn of War, I keep saying Dawn of War, I love to think of Warhammer in a real sense, like a gritty real sense, but I understand that it's not. Yeah, it's good. It's fun to think of it as like real and everything's sort of logical and it all makes sense and it's like a real thing.
It has nothing to do with it being logical or real or whatever. It has to do with it being gritty, full of necessity. Like, all of the factions operate off of necessity. Not that there's pure evil or pure good. There's necessity. And the real grittiness comes from the fact that, you know, when somebody enters the battlefield, they're not like full of shining, gleaming armor. They're not like, oh, I'm, you know, I have my shiny armor and I'm completely fresh for this fucking fight. It's more of, there's some battle scars and blah, blah, blah. It just adds to the atmosphere. If you look at 40K or 40K Dawn of War 1 and 2, you'll kind of get that feeling. Like, the words that I'm kind of throwing out right now don't do it justice, because the games speak for themselves. They just want something that's more akin to the games that they've seen before, which is why I feel like StarCraft 2 just doesn't really hold up to the originals. Granted, when it comes to modernization, yes, the new StarCrafts hold up very fucking well. But when it comes to the atmosphere that the old ones set, aka StarCraft 1 and StarCraft Brood War, there's a big fucking difference. There is a massive fucking difference. To include the fact that I feel like that StarCraft 2, Heart of Swarm, and the Protoss expansion feel a lot more like fucking Mass Effect and a lot less like StarCraft. But that's just my opinion, because it just so happens that those two expansions were developed while Mass Effect was very fucking popular. But I'm just assuming. You guys decide for yourselves.
It's fun to think of it in those terms, because you can get into it in your head a lot more. But it's not. It's stupid. Everything about it is well over the top. So, again... But anyway, as I say, I don't normally make these kind of response videos, but because it was another reasonable producer, and because it was directed right at me, I felt personally that I had to respond and say this. Also, I seriously... It's like, look, you're entitled to your opinion, and he could have made those videos far more objectively and come across a lot better.
Except he was objective in his views. He wasn't really coming at you. He was coming at the way that the game was coming across, the direction of the game itself, but I digress.
But he comes across terribly in those videos, and really quite...
No, he fucking doesn't. You're just upset because he said what he said, and you're just like, oh, my panties were in a bunch because he said those mean, awful things. Oh,
sort of vindictive. Yeah, not impressed. Not impressed at all. By the way, I know that I have to clean my aquarium. It's gonna happen. Don't worry. Don't freak out. I'm doing it today. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Go check out his video and then tell me what you think. But I would very much imagine.
Okay, yeah, he's got like 5 seconds left. Does he even leave a link down below to his... Oh, actually, yeah, he does. Okay, I'll give him credit for that. That's actually something I rarely see, where he's like, I'm going to criticize this video, or not this guy necessarily specifically, but just in general. It's like, I'm going to criticize this person that said this, that, and the other. All right, so let's see. Where does this link lead to? Does it lead to his channel, or does it lead to... It leads to a Walmart advertisement. No, actually, it leads to Dow3, his take on Luetin's interview with Phil Boyle, the visuals. Okay, so it leads to the very first interview video, which also kind of implies that he wants you to watch it in order that he did his interview. So, Luetin 09, despite, the things I said about you, despite this was kind of a roast against you, as well as a criticism against you, or so a criticism, because I feel like you're kind of jumping the gun. You're assuming a little too much, but I appreciate the way you're, at least in the general direction. I appreciate the way you're coming out against Arch Warhammer. I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't think you're trying to unnecessarily target him. But once you brought up the whole, fair use thing, I was like, all right, come on, you can come after him with better things than just, fair use. But, I don't think you're trying to be disingenuous. I don't feel like you're trying to be a jackass to him, but some people might take it that way, given the, let's see, we have, all right, let me refresh this video just to get the most accurate. Yes, I get, oh shit, wow, it's actually gone up quite a bit. So he has 164 likes to 371 dislikes. Jesus. I think he's unleashed the Arch Warhammer fan base upon himself, which, hey, good luck to you, brother, because you're going to fucking need it. But no, seriously, guys, give this guy a fair chance. Let him say his piece. Let him get his words out before you make your own opinion about him. Everybody deserves their fair chance at making their own opinion about this. And holy shit, it's gone on for 40 minutes. This is a 40-minute response to a goddamn 8-minute video, but I just had a lot to say about this because I like Arch Warhammer. I like what he has to offer, and he has been a pivotal fucking success to some of the Warhammer playthroughs I've done to include my Warhammer Dark Crusade playthrough. I watched a lot of his videos about 40K before I uploaded it, so I had a bit of familiarization. Granted, my familiarization back then is nearly as good as it is now, which I'm sure you can. Well, I mean, I haven't done a 40K video in a long time, but I'm sure you can say, like, yeah, your 40K knowledge was, dude, X-nay. But with that being said, folks, Jesus, I have a lot of links to leave down below. I have a lot of things to do. So with that being said, folks, watch Luetin's video, and then also watch Arch Warhammer's videos before you just, you make your opinions about. By all means, watch my video first, then watch the videos, and then draw your own conclusions if you care that much to do so. With that being said, folks, I'm Luke Blight, and I shall see you all for whatever video I upload next, in which you can stare at my ugly mug. I know it's scarring. I apologize for it.